Mama.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Before we get started, I want to remind you that I am now on Instagram, so I'm going to start making more short videos, reels to put on Instagram. So if you want to subscribe to me there or follow me there, be sure to click the link in description and comments to do that. So this video is going to be about how to buy a second home in Jamaica. And believe it or not, this is super exciting. I have subscribers that are now buying second homes in Jamaica. So they bought a home, it worked out to be a great investment, and now they're wanting to buy a second home. So this can be a little bit of a challenge when you're trying to get a second home in Jamaica. So there are some things that you can do to help your chances of getting a mortgage for a second home. So one of the things is, if you have a mortgage on a previous home in Jamaica, you will need to provide the title for that home to prove that you own the home. And also, if you have a long-term lease on that home, you would have to provide that to show income, that home is producing income. Or if you have it on Airbnb or another short-term rental platform, you can provide that income information. And what this does is it helps to offset that debt with income. So a big thing in Jamaica or anywhere when you're trying to get a mortgage is your debt to income ratio. So if you have these debts like homes, you have to be able to show the revenue to support that monthly payment. And basically what that does, if you have a mortgage for say $1,100 and you're renting out a home for $1,500 a month, then it kind of balances out. It shows that you don't have to come out of pocket to pay for that mortgage every month. And what that little extra money does is help pay for the maintenance fees, the monthly maintenance fees. So that home would actually be showing as a profitable investment versus a negative thing like a debt when you go to get a second mortgage. So that's something to consider. Also, if you have properties abroad, either in the US, Canada, or the UK, they will be pulling those credit reports and those things will show up. So if it is a home where you reside, obviously you wouldn't have to show income. But if you do have a second home in the US as an investment property or a vacation home, it's a really good idea to be able to show income for those houses as well. So if you have it rented out long-term or short term, make sure you have that information that you can send in. And one thing that I've run into is clients that maybe rent out a home, but they don't keep a record of the revenue they make. Maybe they don't file it on their taxes, or they don't give the tenant receipts. It's really important to be able to show that as income. So if you are doing that sort of interaction where you get cash maybe from the tenant, make sure that you keep a receipt book. So that can serve to show as revenue on that property. So that's very important. You have to be able to show the revenue either on your tax returns or by showing where the money goes into your bank account each month for a long-term rental, or with short-term rentals, you can always show the Airbnb printout or from another short-term rental platform. So that's very important. If you have other properties, you want to be able to show that they're profitable, and that kind of balances them out and kind of clears them out as far as the debt to income ratio. So another thing to consider is just basically the debt to income ratio. There are instances where people will try to get a house that is maybe a bit above what they're going to be approved for. And in those cases, what you can do is put a larger down payment on the house. So with a second home in Jamaica, it would be considered an investment property. So you would have to put typically 15 to 20% down. Most banks require 20% down for a second mortgage. Some of them do 15%. So between 15 and 20%. So that is what you would kind of have to factor in your calculations when you're trying to save up for something like this, and make sure you have that set aside. And then, like I said, if your debt to income ratio is a little off and you need to finance a lesser amount to make it work, then obviously you would have to make a bigger down payment for that. So I would say those are the main points. Also, when you get an investment property, the interest rate might be a tad bit higher. The going rate right now is around 8%. And then on investment properties, it's around 8.5%. So you'll pay a little bit more on the interest. But if it is an investment property, you should be making money on it by renting it out. So that should help offset that interest, the extra interest. And another thing to consider too, guys, is that part of the debt that is considered is any maintenance fees that you have. Like, for example, if you have a condo or an apartment in the US or abroad and you have maintenance fees, those are factored in, as well as in Jamaica. So when you buy the house, whatever maintenance fees they're going to be charging you, that is going to be added on the debt side. So they do add that in as well. So that'll kind of be something that you have to offset either with your income or a larger down payment. So I hope this guys helps you to see kind of, it is possible to get a second house in Jamaica. It's not out of the question. You just really a lot of times have to have a little bigger down payment to make it happen. So I would say anywhere from 20 to 30% would be good, depending on your amount of income and your amount of debt. So if you guys have any questions about the math behind that and how we figure that out, and if you would qualify for a second home mortgage in Jamaica, if you are looking to get a second house in Jamaica, there is a link in description and comments where you can get all the information on how to obtain a mortgage in Jamaica. So I'd be glad to help you out with that. I work with a great company called Allied Mortgage, and they work with all the major financial institutions in Jamaica, like JMMB, NCB, Victoria Mutual, JN, all these banks and a few others that they work with, so they can really get you the best rate and terms. And that's really important, especially on a second mortgage, because like I said earlier, some of the banks only require 15% down for financing for second homes. So that can really help you out in that way. So it helps to get quotes and rates from different financial institutions, which is something that we do for you guys. So that, and then I also wanted to mention, I put out a video a while ago, guys, about the home and auto initiative that we're working on through Allied Real Estate and Atlas Motors. This is an awesome program, guys, where it helps you bundle a mortgage, a home mortgage, and an auto loan into one payment each month. So if you're buying in a new development and you have questions about that, definitely send me a comment or reach out to my email. I'll put it in description, because that's a really great program. It's very difficult for foreigners who do not reside in Jamaica to get auto loans. The banks in Jamaica do not like to give auto loans to foreigners because they don't know what the car is going to be used for when you're not in Jamaica. So this is a great opportunity to not only get a second house, but then also get a vehicle as well. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely send me an email or leave a comment, and I'd be glad to answer any questions you guys have. So if you found this information useful and you want to subscribe to the channel, that would be great. I'm also on Instagram, so you can follow me there. And then also, I send out a weekly newsletter every Saturday morning with tips and helpful information about new developments in Jamaica. Also tips on how to buy real estate in Jamaica and manage real estate from abroad. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, there's a link in description. All you have to do is put in your first name and your email address, and it's completely free. You get the newsletter to your email every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. And if you guys have any questions, be sure to leave a comment.
Sidehustlemama.